The first time I stepped out of Africa was the day I realized and learned what it actually means to be black. Black excellence isn't so excellent after all. Honestly, I'm really pissed at black people. I am so mad at us and what we're doing to our culture, to our name, and it's really sad. It's really sad. And what really affects me the most is the fact that, you see, when you're a part of a community, you get to pay for the crimes committed by other people, crimes that you are not guilty of. The thing I want to talk about today is how we as black people are advocating for the same stereotypes that we get so mad about, when we get called out for them. We do not want to hear anything negative about us, even though it's the truth. The degenerate behavior that we are advocating for. I don't even know how we got to this, but I do know that it's taken us to a place where we might one day end up being, banned from certain countries. I think at this point, we're going to reach a point where countries will say black culture is banned from here because of what they're doing on media. We don't allow black work because of what they represent. And honestly, go on social media right now. There's this girl, Sexy Red.
That bitch, I'm not just let it right now. If you don't know that bitch, you don't know nothing. You heard it. The judge has done the best.
And I don't really know how America does it, but if they have somebody they want to push, the world is going to know about this person. And I've never really heard a Sexy Red song before. She was on my Instagram, that was last year, I think, when she was coming up. She was suddenly on my Instagram, she was on my Facebook, she was on my, she was everywhere. But honestly, the tattoos and everything, I don't have a problem with tattoos, but everything that I hate, I think I saw a clip of an interview, like on a shorts video. And I don't know, there was just something disgusting about it, And even though I'm talking about like Sexy Red and whatever, my whole point is I just don't understand what's really going on with the culture that we are fostering, as a people, so to say. One thing you need to understand is that two different kinds of black people. There are black people from America and there's black people from Africa. I am from Africa, and you need to understand that my whole culture and understanding and thinking as a person is very different from a black person who's from America. But the thing is, the world is, like America is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, producers of entertainment content, and that is where the problem comes in. You see, since I moved to Europe, I think about 3 years ago, I have gotten to have countless number of conversations with people, Asians, Arabs, different kinds of people. And if you come from different backgrounds, race is just something that feels like the elephant in the room. At some point you just have to talk about it. And one of the things that you get to realize as you talk to more and more people is that they have a certain understanding, a certain perception, like in terms of how they look at black people. And as you get to hear people talk, the portrayal of black people is just everything that they see on social media. The crazy thing about people is, even though they're black people from America and black people from Africa, to people it's just one and the same thing. It's black people, So for me, I can tell to say, they're describing American behavior. They're describing, African behavior. And when it comes to like the American aspect of it, they, talk about, the superstars, because the black people that everybody knows are, the artists, the musicians, the content creators. And I think mostly it's because of music. That's the reason why I hear most of the time when like I'm walking on the streets, you'll see people like throw up some gang signs. You know, like they'll throw up like some gang signs at you. Yo, what's up? They call you the N-word. People really find it funny that I don't like saying the N-word. I do say it, but it's just something that I don't like saying because of not I can't say the N-word or whatever. I just hate everything that it represents. The N-word represents degenerate behavior. And that's just how I look at it from my point of view. I just don't know how we're advocating for, ratchet behavior, sexy red. There's so much nudity in everything we're doing. We're just talking about private parts. Bruh, if we're talking about female content right now, if we're talking about female music, it's just very degrading towards women. If we're talking about the men's music, it's just about gangs and whatever, this and that. I really stopped listening to hip hop a lot because of how, I started listening to some artists like NBA Youngboy, Lil Durk, King Von, XX Tentacion, I was listening to these artists because this is the culture that I've grown up to. Like, this is the things that, I grew up listening to. But then I realized something, I started, becoming paranoid to some degree. I just don't really understand it, but I think somebody who listens to this music, understands what I'm talking about. I'm walking on the streets. If a car, is just coming towards me, I just don't know. I just suddenly think there's going to be a drive-by, there's going to be a shootout or whatever. I have been in very bad situations when I was a kid back home, but this is just nothing like the life that I'm living right now. The music, the content, it messes up with your mind. That's why, every generation of black people now has got more and more people who are, trying to be gangsters, trying to be this. I recently saw a new artist, Four Bats. He's got the gang and everything, but he's singing very nice songs, very, calm, R&B, soul music, but he's good. What is the point of view? For him, this guy is a very, he's a marketing genius. A lot of people are calling him talented, but he's just an example of, how the thing that really caught my attention about him, and just most of the artists and black people in America, is you have made it in life. What is the point of you hanging around the gang or whatever you call it? The gang for life, this snitch. No, that is degenerate behavior. And everything that people know about black people, all the races, what they know about black people is things of how black people portray themselves and media, on media. That is the biggest problem. So I get to experience stereotypes that I don't even know about, stereotypes that, and the funniest thing about black people is that they advocate for they're the biggest advocates for this degenerate and wretched behavior. Yet when we get called out for it, racism this, racism that, I don't really know where we're going as a people. I don't really know what's next for us. But I honestly know that what we're doing right now is something that is going to lead to the downfall of our culture. The world looks at black people as the people that they see on social media, and you don't get to see many Africans acting the way Americans act. If you listen to African hip hop, it's pure artistry. It's good music where nobody raps about gang violence, nobody raps about killing anybody. It's just hip hop as, I don't know, it's just, we know our culture, that's just not a representation of what we do. Our music and lyrics are just true to the lifestyle that we live. I really wish that black people can look at what we're doing right now, the degenerate behavior that we're advocating for. I just feel like it needs to come to an end. I don't really know, but I really hope black people will find their way to, like the true values, our true values. I don't really like it when I go on media, I see 6ix9ine. Is that guy black or whatever? But yeah, he says the N-word, so he's black as well.
People seem to have a problem with you saying nigga, because they say a Mexican should not be using the word
Bro,
nigga.
who gonna stop me? Who?
But I really hate it when I go on social media. I see all these people, like degrading our culture, like disrespecting our people. That is something that doesn't sit well with me. That is something that I feel like dude, the black people that you see on social media, the artists, the rappers or whatever, they are not the representation of black people. In fact, those are the worst representation of black people and our culture. There's so many successful black people out there who are doing so much with their lives and not even on social media. My role model is my aunt, who I sometimes call my mother. This woman is an accountant. She's achieved so much. She's amazing. She travels all over the globe just doing amazing work. If you see her social media or her WhatsApp or whatever, she'll just post the flower. Oh, to God be the glory. She posts a eucalyptus tree or something. There's so many good black people that you can look up to. And I don't know, we should just create some sort of social media where there's the only people who are advocating for good behavior in our community, good achievements, university, this and that. A lot of people usually say, nah, we grew up in the gang, so this is the only life we know. Bruh, what the hell are you saying? That's just a silly ass excuse. I grew up in the gang. I grew up in a town where selling drugs was just the only way people lived. The police couldn't even enter this certain part of town because they just can't get out alive if they go there. Gangsterism, bruh, I know what it's like to grow up with the worst life there ever is. I've really had it hard. I'm not even here to make excuses. I'm not even here. I've never made excuses for the life that I've lived and the life that I'm living now. And I think it's high time people started doing that. Black isn't so excellent after all.